Hi and welcome to Cakes and Conversations, and today we're going to learn how to make banana bread. This recipe is a very simple recipe. It's a very healthy recipe as well. I'll tell you the substitutions if you're going to make it gluten-free or vegan, and this is the most common dessert or a bread recipe or a cake recipe, you can say, made during lockdown. I'm extremely sorry, and I really apologize that I'm uploading this video a little later, but it's one of the family favorites. So here, this is egg free as usual. I'm not going to use any eggs in this. So most of the recipes I do that is eggless, and it tastes the same. It won't give you a very missing out eggs feeling, and at the same point of time serves for kids who are allergic to eggs or people who are vegetarians due to religious reasons. Okay, so here I'm having bananas. These are overripe bananas. If you see those delicious black skin spots, so we usually throw this. This is what we need. You can, if you have bananas lying in your kitchen and you see that it's turning black and you don't want to make the recipe immediately, you can always go ahead and freeze them at this stage, and whenever you want to make a banana bread or a banana cake, you can take it out, thaw it from a freezer and use it. These are perfect for your banana cakes as well. Kids love them because a banana turns from starch to sugar, okay, as it ripens. So these are over sweet. These are very sweet in flavor. We don't have to throw them. These are very perfect. And if you do not have overripe bananas in your kitchen and you want to make a quick banana bread for your guests, you can just get normal bananas, pop them in the oven, of course peel them, slice them into half, pop them in your oven for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Okay, I'm adding jaggery here. I am not using sugar. You can use white sugar and brown sugar mix. Do not use plain white sugar. Actually, brown sugar imparts a lot of flavor and color to your banana bread as well as moistness, because brown sugar has that molasses. Okay, jaggery will do the same. I don't have brown sugar in hand, so I'm using jaggery. In terms of GI index, there is no difference in sugar or jaggery, and I cannot claim that this is healthier in terms of GI index, but it is healthier in terms of it has potassium, magnesium, many health benefits, aids your digestion. It's too good. If you see most of the households after a meal, they have this good ka katora and the soft, good and soft. This is it perfects. It just digests. Okay, it's good for digestion. It's good to digest your food well. Here I'm using a combination of butter and oil. You can always use 100% oil. It keeps your banana cake moist for days. Butter, as usual, if you keep it in the fridge, hardens as butter property. Then for the mix-in, I'm using Chocochips. I just add a little bit flour to this so that it doesn't sink down, and I don't want all the Chocochips down at the bottom of my cake pan. You can also add some chopped walnuts and pecans. I'm not using those because my kids won't love them. I mean, they don't love nuts in their cakes. I've not tried them, actually. They're just 3 years. So I've not really tried giving them a nut cake. So I'm not going to use that. I know they love chocolate. I know they love bananas. You can add some blueberries if you want. It's completely your choice about what mix-in do you want to add in. Then we have the natural spice that has like baking powder, baking soda, salt that goes in the cake. To enhance the banana flavor, we have some cinnamon and nutmeg. And in place of all-purpose flour, I'm using a mix of oat flour and whole wheat flour, just to turn it a little healthier for the kids also. Again, doesn't matter in terms of carbohydrates when you go about a low-fat diet. No, I'm so sorry. Whole wheat and all-purpose flour almost matches the same. It's not something very significant difference in it. So oatmeal, yes, oatmeal is a very good flour. I just wanted a mix because that oat gives you a very nutty flavor. So if you're making gluten-free, now you can swap this with your gluten-free baking powder flour that you get gluten-free baking flour that you get ready-made. Otherwise, you can make your own Indian gluten-free flour with your tapioca, with your sargam, amaranth, and all those things. There are definitely so many recipes available online. If you need, let me know, comment below so that I can post it. I have a homemade gluten-free flour recipe. And also I wanted to also say, I'm using milk here. Now if you're using something which is this is just like 2 tablespoons of milk. If you're someone who does not consume dairy, go ahead and use dairy-free milk. Okay, if you don't want to add milk, you can also add some orange juice. It gives you a very nice flavor to your banana bread. Now for people who are vegans and do not want to use, even they don't have jaggery, they don't want to use sugar, you can always go with maple syrup and coconut sugar as well. Okay, just making a simple banana bread with the recipes that with the ingredients that we already have at home. Okay, I've given you alternatives. Okay, so now let's just begin with this recipe. I'm gonna put this on the side. So I'm just gonna peel the bananas. These are gonna be black and super soft bananas, okay? And these are lovely. They'll give you a nice, amazing flavor if you see. Oh my God, this is so good. Now mash up the bananas. This is a whisk is super easy. Fork will take a little time. We don't want it to be super chunky, but we don't want it to be super smooth as well. So just break down a little. And can you see that amazing brown color? I don't know if you can see it in the bowl, but if you can see now, that's the sweetness. Oh my God. So as we mix in the ingredients, the bananas will definitely get more mashed up. This is what we are looking for. Now I'm adding vanilla essence. This is 1 teaspoon. I'm going to add the oil and butter mix. Then I'm going to add the milk. Basically all the wet ingredients we're going to add. Sugar comes under wet ingredients. If you know a simple science of baking, sugar is a wet ingredient, so we're going to add sugar as well. Never use plain white, as I said. Use a mix of white and brown sugar. You can use coconut sugar, you can use jaggery, palm jaggery, or maple syrup. Honey works well too. Give it a good mix. So banana bread is nothing but a banana cake. The reason why it's known as bread is because it's a little dense and it's not very spongier like a cake. Also, there are many recipes online which uses yeast so that there's a slow rise in the banana bread, okay? But most of the banana bread recipes are just a cake recipe. Since it is a little denser because of the moisture content and the fruit content in it, that's why it's known as a banana bread and not a cake. Okay, now we add the dry ingredients. I've mixed in the flour in these Chocochips. Nothing extra. Whatever the measurement says, only from this. You will not even add 1 extra tablespoon of flour because it's gonna tighten up your batter and it's gonna basically you will eventually need extra milk to loosen the cake batter then. So your ratios of your recipe goes up and down. Okay, so now I'm going to add this tablespoon by tablespoon. I've already sifted this. Now before mixing the wet and the dry ingredients, I'm so sorry I skipped this step. You need to line your pan and preheat your oven at 180 degrees centigrade. That's the right time when you preheat it. It's preheat your oven so that when you're mixing the dry ingredients, your oven gets good ample of time for your oven to come at a baking temperature, which is 180. At this stage, I'm also adding a little nutmeg. Nutmeg gives you a very good flavor. This is 1/4 teaspoon, perfect. Maybe 1/8 is fine for nutmeg. Cinnamon and banana are friends. You can always go ahead and add a good amount of cinnamon. If you're not someone who is a cinnamon fan, then still you don't omit this. It just imparts flavor. Go ahead and add little, like half a tablespoon. Okay, teaspoon, sorry, half teaspoon. I'll be writing down all the measurements down below, so no need to worry on that. No over mixing. Once you see the flour is gone, we are ready for the next add-in. Little bit of salt. The last batch. Now with the last batch, I'm going to quickly add my baking soda. Baking soda here will be one teaspoon. I'm going to add 1.5. Because I'm using oat and whole wheat flour, it needs a little more push to rise. Maybe, a 1/4 more is okay. Because all-purpose flour is a lighter flour and oatmeal and whole wheat is a heavier flour. The bubbles really need to push them so that it can rise. Okay, I mean, that's how I can demonstrate. And I'm also putting little 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That's it. Okay, and that's it. We just are left with choco chips, and we are left with just to mix in. I mean, choco chips and the mix. If you see, this is still a drop consistency. It's not something that is very liquidy. This is a perfect consistency that we need. Clean your whisk. I have not really mixed in everything. I can still see the flour bits. I just don't want to over mix. So when I'm going to add the choco chips, it's going to mix anyway. We don't want to build any gluten here, because that will make your bread chewier. Okay, we don't want a chewy bread. I can still smell the banana. It is so good. This is the perfect consistency that we need. It's a drop consistency, which means it's going to drop like a blob. Okay, this is the perfect consistency, and now we're going to put it in the lined pan, and we'll put it to bake. So I have lined my 2 baking. These are small loaves, okay, and I'm using a reusable parchment paper. I've made 2 that if I feel this is gonna be, I want the one that has a little dome, okay, so that's why I'm using a smaller pan. If you're someone who don't want a dome on your cakes or a crack on them, go ahead and use a wider pan, okay, a bigger one. And I feel that this is little and it will not come up to the same level of this, so I'm going to take a small loaf. So I have a little smaller than that, so I'm going to use this one for the remaining. Okay, now this is going to go in the oven, 180 degrees for a good 20 minutes. I'm going to check for 20 minutes, and then if they're done, they're okay, I'll take them out. If not, I'm going to keep for like 10 more minutes, which is 30 minutes. And then we'll check for doneness. I will show you how it looks after baking. So the banana cake is ready now. I have just loosened up the sides, so I'm going to take it off directly on my serving platter. And it's going to come off easily. This is the reusable parchment, which comes off easily. You can just wash it with hot water and it's done. You see, the choco chips are evenly distributed. How beautiful the banana cake looks like. So I'm just going to cut and show you the texture now. And this is how it looks from the sides. It is soft. Cutting a thick slice. Of course, I've allowed it to cool down and it's at room temperature. because of the choco chips, that's the knife. Okay, now you can see, if I think it's clear and better now. If you see the texture. And if you see the cut slice. It is super moist, super soft, and the jaggery doesn't overpower the taste, the banana flavor too much. You can serve this as it is. You can serve with little peanut butter, and you can serve it with little peanut butter and jam. It's amazing and perfect because these go very well with banana and chocolates as well, choco chips as well. You can also serve with a nice warm drizzle of caramel. It's gonna be amazing, and with a dollop of whipped cream on the side. So I've got all my amazing fillings here. This is the homemade raspberry strawberry mixed jam. Nutella, which I have put it in a piping bag and I've microwaved it for 10 seconds. And same way peanut butter, I have put it in a piping bag and I've microwaved it for like 15 seconds. And this looks so delicious. Thank you so much for watching.